Another brick fan with a collectible minifigure series. This is Series 24. This is set 71034, was released in January 2023. It has 101 pieces, 12 minifigures. Each comes in a blind bag that costs $5 each. So if you get them all right on the first try, that's $60 for this entire set. And this series, as you can see, is dominated by costumed characters. At least most of them look like they're wearing costumes. It's unusual for LEGO to release a kind of minifigure, non-branded minifigure series at the first of the year. Usually it's been a branded series like Harry Potter, Marvel, DC, Looney Tunes. There's usually a couple branded series and then one minifigure series, at least in the past 5 or 6 years. That's how it's worked. But this year we got Series 24 here with the regular minifigures. And I'd like to point out a couple that I think are really nice. So starting with the Falconer here. She looks really good here in that kind of classic castle garb there. The very bright red hair. That's a good Falcon piece as well. I think the Orc turned out quite well also. He looks really good. The robot warrior here in the front also turned out really well. And of course the one that a lot of people are talking about, and certainly the AFOLs that really like classic space, the brown spaceman. This is the first time we've gotten a spaceman in brown. And then the Spacebaby, or baby astronaut if you will, is also a really nice piece. We're going to go ahead and take a look at each one of these figures individually, so let's get into that. Starting with our first two minifigures, we have the football referee here and the robot warrior. The football referee comes with these two tiles here, a red and a yellow card, and then of course a soccer ball. Our robot warrior has this brick-built weapon here. So this brick-built weapon has some printed 1x1 tiles here, kind of a little handle piece or gun or weapon piece there. Kind of a little weapon piece with some tiles on it. And then there's some roller skates here used to create that effect there. And then the little post piece there at the end to finish off the weapon. The printing is really well done on both of these figures. You can see they all have side printing. The printing goes all the way down the legs. So we have some nice little detailing here on the cleats for our referee. There's all the printing here on our robot warrior. This helmet for the robot warrior is very large. You can see it's got these long wings on the back, and then the printing there on his face. You can't really see much of it with the helmet on, but it's also in that kind of lighter green color. And as I mentioned, we have some printing on the side here. It looks like the referee's got a watch or a countdown timer of some kind. Some additional detailing, and then we have the logos here on the bottom of the feet. Definitely dual molded legs here on the robot warrior. There's kind of that Lego sport there. And you see on the back of the robot we have that little star piece there that is printed on the head. Some additional detailing back here. The referee does have a alternate face that you can see here. And that nice kind of tan hair bun there as well. Different printing here on the other side for the referee. It looks like a different watch she's wearing here on the other side. Same kind of printing on the legs as well. Let's move on to our next two minifigs. Next up we have the brown astronaut and our carrot Mascott. So the brown astronaut, like I mentioned in the intro, this is the first time we've seen the astronaut in brown. Got the classic space logo here. He's holding on to a walkie-talkie, which has a printed 1x2 tile here. You can see the printing on the walkie-talkie there. And of course the Spacebaby, our carrot mascot, has this farmer's market sign, which is also a printed piece done very nicely. Let's take a closer look at our Spacebaby. Here is the Spacebaby. As you can see here, he's got the classic space logo there. This is just the standard baby mold from, I think, Cities when they first started showing up. I think one of these was in one of the modular buildings as well. But this piece has been around for a while. Then we have this headpiece, which has got the helmet and integrated air tanks there on the back. So it's really nice to see that on our little baby here. And as we move around, you see it's a really nice little piece, and I think a lot of people are really going to appreciate this as one of the pieces that everybody was really looking forward to in Series 24. Going back to our main minifigures, classic space, so no printing beyond the classic space logo. Our carrot guy here has overalls in that green. Notice he's got red hair, so he's got red sideburns and red eyebrows. He does also come with a red hair piece, so if you want to take the carrot costume off of him, you can see him like this. No arm printing on the side, but dual molded legs for our carrot mascot. Once again, the back here of the figures. No alternate face for our spaceman, which is, again, classic space. A throwback to that. And then here is the alternate expression on our carrot mascot. And then here is the back of the carrot costume that he wears. The big leaves on the top there. So there we have our brown spaceman, or brown astronaut, and our carrot mascot. Next up we have our Falconer here in the classic castle garb with a bow and arrow and a falcon. And then another costume here. This is a T-Rex costume. Notice the nice printing there on the feet for the claws, and the really nice helmet piece, kind of helmet or head piece there for the dinosaur itself. Let's take a quick look at the falcon. So here's the falcon piece, and it does have some nice printing here on the side, some black feathers, the black head. I like the yellow accents there, and the eye is done as well. So a very nice mold there for the falcon itself. I think that turned out quite nicely. So looking at the Falconer, she has the falcon shield crest here. So she's from the Black Falcon Army. I believe that's what it was called, from the classic castle. I believe that the blacksmith shop that came out last year also had the falcon logo or falcon shield for the characters that were there. You see the dual molded boots with the brown on the bottom, and then some pouches and belt there. There's also, she's wearing a glove there for the falcon. The T-Rex has this good molding here, or striping there. The claws, which I already pointed out, and kind of the knees of the costume. You can see from the side that very nice headpiece there. The printing, of course, on both arms for both of these characters. Looking at the back, you see that nice striping again, and a striped tail that comes down. Both of these have alternate expressions, as you can see. So here's our dinosaur guy with kind of a growling face and a more severe face on our Falconer. Moving around to the other side, you see that there's still printing on this side with striping for our T-Rex, but there's no printing on this other arm for the Falconer. Next up we have our Orc here and our Conservationist. The Orc, of course, has this very large sword. It's a good piece there, and then a shield. Also is wearing a cape and this nice top knot kind of look. Our Conservationist has this dark green cap, and then of course this koala bear. So there's a closer look at the koala bear. A nice little mold. Has a hand that can hold on to this. I'm going to say this is a bamboo shoot, but this is a piece that's normally used for carrot tops and things like that. I'm not sure it's in this light green very often. Then no additional printing on the back of the koala bear. So the orc is actually a two-piece head here. So it's got the ears and the jaw right here. So the teeth come way up next to the eyes. So I think that should have been angled down maybe a little bit, or maybe just a bit smaller, but you know, it still looks pretty good. I like the cape with kind of all the tears and tattered look to it. The top knot's pretty nice for his hair. You can see that he's got a skull, some kind of bone representation here holding his cross, you know, the bandoliers here, or the straps across his chest, claws down on the feet, so the bare feet for him. I do like the dark green here. This is the kind of the city animal rescue logo there. It's got his ID badge. You can see he's got a little bit of stubble going on for our conservationist, and then the cargo pants, dual molded legs, as you can see. Both figures have side printing on their arms, so some tattoos here, maybe wristbands or bracers there for the orc. You can see that ear piece better here. No alternate expression for the orc, although he does have continuing printing there on the back of the orc, as you can see. Our conservationist has the animal rescue kind of logo on the back here. He does have an alternate expression, kind of a smaller smile on his face there. Once again, arm printing on the sides for both of these characters. Next up, we have the Potter with this kind of teal colored wrap around her head. She has it looks like a clay vase, or looks like she has a clay glass here, or cup. This is our Rocco Aristocrat. So kind of a, you know, 16th century look for her, with a poodle, of course. This very large skirt piece down here. Let's take a look at the poodle, or little dog. I guess this could be maybe a Chihuahua or something, just a small little dog that goes with our Aristocrat. So there's a nice little print, just a straight white dog with some black printing for the face. The Potter also comes with this little table and then a bowl, kind of once again in that nougat, that dark nougat color, to represent kind of a raw clay perhaps for that bowl that's in progress. Once again, really good printing here on these characters. There's that kind of lavender purplish shirt. She has this nice smile, some freckles. There's some pottery tools in here, like the soft knife. There's a little shaping tools in here. I notice her hands are that clay color, so they match the two clay items that she's built. Some, you know, clay stains on her apron down here. The Aristocrat is printed in this nice dress, so it's kind of a darker pink and red below that, and a light pink on the outside. She has the white face with the rouge there. Of course, the very large hairpiece as well. A little bit of side printing here on the arms for the Potter. Very minimal printing on the back of her. There is a little bit of detailing on the back of the torso here on the Aristocrat, but nothing on the back of the dress itself. And then, of course, both have alternate expressions. So there you have the alternate expressions for both of these figures. So our last two figures are children. So this is our rocking horse girl. She does have a hairpiece with a post place for it, so you can put posts on it. The newspaper kid, or newspaper delivery kid, has this newspaper he's delivering, then a slingshot, and of course a bag that slings over his shoulder. The rocking horse girl comes with this rocking horse, which is a nice little piece. Very easy to find in the blind bag, but it's this narrow piece that has the spots so that the minifigure legs can go in between, and she can sit on that rocking horse. Good printing. These both have the short legs, so she has the short legs that don't move on our rocking horse girl, and the Newspaper kid is a little bit older, so he has those mid legs that actually do move, so they're one stud taller than these. Good prints on the torso here with this rainbow unicorn. I like the freckles and the glasses for our little girl here. I do like this hat, kind of that 1920s kind of hat look there. There are some side printing. There is some side printing on the newspaper boy here. And then the backs of both of these are just minimal printing on our rocking horse girl. Little suspenders in the back. No alternate expression for the newspaper boy or our little girl, the rocking horse girl. So now that we've taken a look at all of the minifigures, let's go back and I'll give you my final thoughts. As I said in the beginning, this series was kind of dominated by costumed characters, since we have the Carrot costume, the T-Rex costume, we've got the Rocco Aristocrat there in the back. I'm going to say that's kind of a costume as well. Also a couple of medieval characters with the Falconer and the Orc, which were very nice to kind of see. The brown spaceman and the Spacebaby certainly are big hits in this series. Overall, I think all of the figures looked really good. I think there's a good variety here, and certainly the detail on most of them, as you saw, looks really nicely, and I'm very pleased with this Series 24. We'll have to wait and see what kind of minifigure series they have the rest of the year. There's usually 3 per year, so I'm looking forward to a couple more. I expect there'll be a Disney series, the Disney Series 3 this year, since it is the, I believe, 100th anniversary of Disney. There's already been several Brickhead sets and other Disney-themed sets announced for this anniversary. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this minifigure series. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to see more LEGO reviews. I've left a link to my collectible minifigure series review playlist up here on the screen.